Hello students, welcome to the class. Today we are going to do the fourth chapter from the book Footprints Without Feet. The story titled A Question of Trust by Victor Canning. It is said you must set a thief to catch a thief. It means to employ a criminal or thief in order to understand, anticipate, and ultimately apprehend another criminal or thief. The best person to catch a thief is another thief because he or she knows how the thieves think. It is also said that there is honor among thieves. This means that even criminals or thieves follow some form of code of honor, moral, or ethics. Thieves have a code of conduct which they follow strictly. They would never report against each other. It is a point of honor among them to trust one another. Let's read and find out which saying does the story illustrate. The story is about a thief who gets a taste of his own deeds. Everyone thought that Horace Danby was a good, honest citizen. So Horace Danby had a good reputation in the society. He was about 50 years old. He was usually very well and happy except for attacks of hay fever in summer. Now let me explain you what is hay fever. It is an allergy to the pollen of grass or other plants. Symptoms are very similar to those of a cold. He was a locksmith. He made locks and was successful enough at his business to have 2 helpers. Yes, Horace Danby was good and respectable but not completely honest. So though he was good and respectable, he was not completely honest. And why the writer says that he was not completely honest? Here, he loved rare, expensive books, so he robbed a safe every year. He stole enough to last for 12 months and secretly bought the books he loved through an agent. So Horace Danby, he was fond of rare and expensive books. He purchased them at any cost. And for this, he robbed safe only once in a year. He purchased his books through an agent. For 2 weeks, he had been studying the house at Shotover Grand, looking at its room, its electric wiring, its path, and its garden. This afternoon, the 2 servants who remained in the Grand while the family was in London had gone to the movies. So, before making a theft, he chalked out the plan very well. This time, he had observed the house at Shotover Grand for the last 2 weeks. He studied every minute detail about the house, its room, its electric wiring, its path, its garden. He has found out that the family was in London and the 2 servants that afternoon had gone to the movies. So he secretly entered the house. He came out from behind the garden wall, his tools carefully packed in a bag on his back. He had seen the housekeeper hang the key on the kitchen garden on a hook outside. He put on a pair of gloves, took the key, and opened the door. He was always careful not to leave any fingerprints. So remember this, he was always careful not to leave any fingerprints. So he came out from behind the garden wall, took the keys from the kitchen door hook. He wore gloves and opened the door. Why? Because he was very careful not to leave any fingerprints. The safe was in the drawing room behind a rather poor painting. There was a great bowl of flowers on the table, and Horace felt his nose tickle. Remember his hay fever. So there was a vase of flowers on the table, and the fragrance of the flowers tickled his nose. Remember his allergy. He gave a little sneeze and then put down the bag. He carefully arranged his tools. He had 4 hours before the servant's return. He came back and sneezed loudly as the smell of the flowers came to him again. So he sneezed out repeatedly. What is it, a cold or hay fever? You can cure it with a special treatment. So suddenly he heard a voice asking whether it was cold or hay fever and suggested that he could cure it with a special treatment. It was the voice of a young lady who was standing in the doorway. She was young, quite pretty, and was dressed in red. She introduced herself as the wife of the owner of the house. She told that she would telephone the police and tell them about him. There, I'll telephone the police and tell them all about you. They would get you at once. Here you can see in the picture. Now, Horace Danby pleaded her to let him go and forget she ever saw him. Okay, you see here Horace Danby saying, it would be nice if you would forget you ever saw me, let me go. And again here, he begged, let me go, and I promise never to do this kind of thing again. I really mean it. So Horace Danby now pleaded her to let him go and forget she ever saw him. Now, the lady put one condition for letting him go. There she goes. Only if you will do something for me, anything you say. So she told him that she had come there suddenly because she wanted her jewels to wear them at the party that night. But she was forgetting the number to open the safe, so she needed his help. There it is. Before we left for London, I promised my husband to take my jewels to our bank, but I left them here in the safe. I want to wear them to a party tonight, so I came down to get them. But Horace smiled. You have forgotten the numbers to open the safe, haven't you? Yes, replied the young lady. Just leave it to me and you will have them within an hour, but I'll have to break your safe. Don't worry about that. So Horace Danby willingly opened the safe there, and within an hour Horace had opened the safe, given her the jewels, and gone happily away. And remember, Horace had forgotten to put on the gloves. We had seen earlier that he was very careful not to leave any fingerprints. Horace had removed the gloves too. There it is. Horace had removed the gloves to offer her his cigarette lighter. There, I'll read the lines. Horace, eager to please her and seeing that she might help him, took off his gloves and gave her his cigarette lighter. So Horace Danby opened the safe without putting on the gloves. He had taken off the gloves while giving her his cigarette lighter. The young lady got the jewels and Horace went away happily. Here it is, gone happily away. So Horace went away happily Why was he happy? Because he had managed to escape from being imprisoned. But on the morning of the third day, by noon, a policeman had arrested him for the jewel robbery at Shotover Grand. So on the third day, the police arrested him for the jewel robbery at Shotover Grand. Why? Because his fingerprints were found all over the room. Here, his fingerprints, for he had opened the safe without gloves, were all over the room, and no one believed him when he said that the wife of the owner of the house had asked him to open the safe for her. The wife herself, a grey-haired, sharp-tongued woman of 60, said that the story was nonsense. So though he confessed that he had opened the safe for the wife of the owner of the house, nobody believed him. Why? Because in reality, the owner's wife was about 60 years old, and she said that the story was not true, it was all nonsense. And so no one believed Horace Danby. He was arrested by the police, and now he is the assistant librarian in the prison. Horace is now the assistant librarian in the prison. He often thinks of the charming, clever young lady who was in the same profession as he was and who tricked him. He gets very angry when anyone talks about honor among thieves. So, he always thinks of the young lady who was in the same profession as he was but didn't follow the code of honor or ethics and simply tricked him. So, what message do we get from this story? Is we should not trust anyone without discovering about the person, without finding out about the person. The lady in the story, she pretended to be the owner of the house, and Horace trusted her words, but she simply tricked him. Hope you enjoyed the story. Thank you.